Welcome. And today we're going to talk about what it takes to set your heart free. What does it actually take? So, this is kind of one of those topics that could be its own course. And I deeply understand the weight that our heart carries from a personal aspect of everything I've been through. And today's topic is particularly sacred to me because it touches the core of foundation, the core foundation of transformation. It's the ability to set our hearts free through the practices of letting go and forgiveness. So, this is going to build on the cord cutting topics and really talk about we're going to talk about really what's deep in here, what's deep in our hearts. Let's explore our hearts and see what's inside. Because what's inside is what holds us back. Everything deep inside are the cords that bind us. The deep things within our heart are truths. They're our core truths. They're pain, suffering, thoughts, needs, values, longings. All of that sits within our heart. Grief, the thought of lost dreams, the thought of lost time, lost opportunities, relationships that have been lost, or we feel that we'll never find the perfect relationship. All of this sits and lives within our heart. Maybe we even have grief from what could have been when we're talking about relationships or you in your life, what you thought your life was going to look like, what you thought it was going to be, how you thought it was going to play out, how you thought what character you played in your movie of yourself. And sometimes things happen and it shifts our whole identity. And that's what happened for me when I went through all the things I went through at the hospital and there was so much leading up to that identity change. When I think about it, it's so intense. There was so many fear about not being heard and listened to. There was so much question about trust within myself. Am I seeing these symptoms? Is this really reality? Is this actually happening? Or am I imagining this? Not being able to trust your own instincts, not being able to trust your own gut. Being told that you're probably just a hypochondriac and imagining all these things. And go do what everybody else does and just get over it. Move on. And then there's that inner part of you that deep down you are truly still connected to, and you just know that this is all not right, but there's so much fear to allow that to surface. So then there's resentment for all the people that made comments about being a hypochondriac, not being real. And there's all the resentments and anger towards people that wouldn't listen. Because now later on, this all happens and I have this devastating news and I'm like, I have begged for help. I have told you all. And now everybody's running around, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I should wonder what I said. There's so much resentment and anger and bitterness within our hearts sometimes around things that are unfair and other people's actions, other people's words. I just want to think about all of the times that I internally knew what was right. I knew what was right. I knew what to do, and I didn't do it because of the fear. I didn't go in. There were so many signs I needed to go to the emergency, and I just didn't go in. I kept thinking, it'll get better. I just need to either change my diet. I need to do something new. I need to try some new exercise. I need to take this new pill. I need to quit my job. I need to, which was a huge factor because there was so much harassment and bullying going on at work, but that just exacerbated the whole situation and intensified it 10x, maybe 100x. There's so much trauma and wounding with grief and sadness and resentment and pain. There's also self-judgment and criticism about failures and mistakes that we've made and choices that we wished we made differently and times we wish we would have spoken up and we didn't speak up. Times we wanted to say something, but somebody else, you had something really good to say, and then somebody else said the same thing, and you had too much fear to speak. All these moments when we played small and we didn't honor that we had something authentic to say. We were speaking our truth, but it couldn't come out. We wanted to. And then they overcame us, so we'll go back down being small. We'll play ourselves down. There's dreams that we abandoned because we didn't think we were good enough. We didn't know enough. We didn't have enough. And that wasn't for us. It wasn't in our life plan. It couldn't have been. It's too much. It's too big of a dream. So we gave it up. Or maybe we tried a little bit for a while to make it happen and it didn't happen. So we gave up. Maybe we thought we did really good. We put in a long time to make it work and it still didn't happen. So we gave up. We threw in the towel, but maybe it was just that one more little push through would have broke through that barrier and we'd be in a different place right now. So there's so many different attachments that we have within ourselves. We have attachments to the past versions of ourselves, these relationships that no longer serve us. We're stuck and limited because of the expectations that we have on ourselves. We don't see the potential. We don't see the possibility, and we forget that we are the only ones that can make a difference and make things happen for us. And when we give ourselves a permission slip to be all that we can be, that gives somebody else a permission slip to be everything that they can be. We like to stay in our comfort zone. It keeps us small, keeps us safe, keeps our brain okay, keeps us, in that place of thing. But then you always have that fear and longing and discontentment going on in the background of your mind. And you're like, but what if? What if I had made that different choice? What if I'd made that different change? And then we guilt ourselves about where we're at because we didn't do the things. And when you look at your life like one of those books where choose your own adventure and you took this path, but you had a choice way back here to take this fork in the road, but then that led to that fork in the road and that led to that fork in the road. And now you're here. But what if you had taken that fork? We love to just spin around and examine all of these ways we can beat ourselves up. And so when I said forgiveness, I wonder what you thought. Did you think I meant for other people? Because I mean for you. This is about forgiving you. If you want to forgive other people, bonus points. But you know what? This is about forgiving yourself. Forgiving yourself for guilting yourself, shaming yourself. Guilting yourself for all of the times that, forgiving yourself for all of the times that you just thought that you couldn't do something. And so you didn't. And now you wonder if you would have made a different decision where you would be. Forgiving yourself for not being perfect. Forgiving yourself for doing the best you could with what you had in that time. Forgiving yourself for trying to stay safe. Forgiving yourself for having a human journey. Forgiving yourself and releasing shame over everything that you feel and that you've been through. Understanding and forgiving yourself for the choices you made when you were younger. Forgiving yourself for for everything. It's a journey for all your imperfections, all your limitations. It's time to find peace. Peace within you, that this is where you are right now. And even if it's not exactly where you want to be, this is where you are. And I'm going to forgive myself and stop beating myself up and stop pointing fingers at myself and stop wishing and wishing and wishing I did this and wishing I did that. And just forgive myself for being me and doing the best I could in that time. Because obviously I wasn't ready to handle anything further at that time. But now that we're in this place, we're seeing something from a different perspective, which means we're at the next level. You are at the next level. So now you are on a journey of growth. And so many doors are going to open up for you as you embrace this new identity for yourself and forgive yourself from all of the past judgments. Judgments. We could fill buckets. We could look in the mirror and pick ourselves apart. We could criticize ourselves so deeply. We love to do that. We love to compare ourselves to everybody else. And we just need to release this need for approval and perfection and justice. We need to release this and forgive ourselves for trying to get all those things, have all those things. This is about making peace with timing, accepting everything life has come our way, and start to take 100% responsibility for where we're at. Release the need to understand everything in the future. When you look back, there's a lot you can understand and there's a lot you can't understand. It's probably confusing. We find meanings in everything. We create stories around everything, and whatever makes us feel more comfortable, we hang on to those stories and we say those stories and we hold on to those stories like they're just life or death. And sometimes these stories are so depleting, and sometimes these stories are so powerful that that's what gets us through. That's what humans do. We make stories, but we are the characters of our own life. And we have to accept all life's mysteries and uncertainties because we just don't know. And the best part is trusting in divine timing, trusting that's what meant for you will come. And when you put yourself out there to be the next level you, more and more will come. As long as you're staying small, that's all your body can handle. You're not going to manifest anything more into your life. You have to trust and be ready and willing and open and forgiving of yourself for everything up to this point. Forgiving doesn't mean forgetting. Forgiving doesn't even require us to reconcile anything with anybody or ourselves. It's not about taking some sort of action. We don't need anybody else in our life to forgive. We only need us. Nothing else needs to happen but what's going on in here. And we don't need to do it over and over and over. We need to do it once. We just need to forgive ourselves. You don't even have to be ready. You don't have to know. Maybe nothing drastic will happen, but you can move forward. It's an art. It's an art of letting go. And it's an act of profound self-love to yourself. Do you want to be liberated? Because you know what comes along with being liberated from all of this? Is all of these stored emotions can finally be processed. You can start removing and releasing all this emotional addiction patterns. You can break constant habit patterns and cycles. You can feel things without being attached to them. You don't have to be attached to the outcome. And the mental freedom. Think of the fog that will lift and the mental load that will lighten when you forgive yourself for everything you've said and done and felt and needed or didn't do, whatever it is for you. When you forgive yourself and release the shame and the guilt and all of the pain with it, you're allowing the universe to bring you more positive energy, more positive things in your life. You're saying, but that was then, and this is me now. That was then, and this is me now. And when your heart feels that freedom inside, just feels so much lighter. The energy can flow. You will feel better. You will sleep better if you truly forgive yourself. You're going to open up capacity for you to learn and gain so much wisdom and knowledge. And you're going to be able to see how you are protecting so much. But what this does when you forgive is you give yourself some self-compassion. You give yourself some grace and love. You prove to yourself that you're worthy. You take back all of the agency over your life. You can set boundaries easier. You can discern things easier. You have that mental spacious capacity in your mind. You're going to be so much more connected. So be patient with yourself and ask yourself, what do you need to forgive within yourself? And you don't have to be so specific. You can just say, I want to forgive it all. I'm going to forgive it all. And if you can't forgive it all, you can go back to one thing at a time and forgive yourself. It's a powerful, powerful process when you do this, because you're going to create so much spaciousness. So now is your time to decide, are you worthy of forgiveness? Because it's time to forgive yourself.